Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Chris here, also known as Sin, and welcome to today's commentary. Today I'm going to be telling you a life story about my worst acid trip I've had out of all of my hundreds of acid trips. And before we start this video, I want to go ahead and get this out of the way. I do not condone the use of any type of psychedelics or drugs at all, even especially if you're under 18 years old. If you're 18 and older and you want to experiment with these types of things, that's completely up to you. Just know most of the psychedelics and stuff like that are illegal in most states, so be careful where you're doing it, and always test your drugs, because I fucked up this one night and didn't test what I had gotten. Always test your drugs, no matter what, especially if it's psychedelics or anything along those lines. Well, enough with that, let me go ahead and jump right into this story. So this story takes place about 8 or 9 months ago. We had driven up to another state to go pick up this acid. We were going to get like 15, so he was only going to charge us around 80, 90 to $100. So we drive 2 or 3 hours up to a different state to pick up this acid. And one thing I recommend is always test your acid. The test kits might be a little bit expensive depending on how much you're already spending on the acid, but it's worth it, because you don't want to take no research chemicals type shit, you know, and be acting like this crazy as fuck. So we're on this 2 to 3 hour car drive back, and we're so stoked to do this acid. And we finally make it back to my state and back home, and we have to sit here and wait to take the acid, because we're planning on going out in the woods and taking this. So we're gonna take the acid once we get in the woods, so we don't lose our minds and get lost in the woods, because we have a designated area where we were planning on tripping. So we're sitting there waiting, and we have to wait on this dude to come, because he wanted to come trip with us, so he was gonna come park his car at my house. So we sit there and we wait for so long. It was probably a good 30-45 minutes, and I called him and I asked him, I was like, hey, how much longer until you're here, because we're ready to go, dude. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and wait all night on you. And he says, oh shit, I'm sorry, I'll be there in 10-15 minutes. So me and my friend sit here and wait, and we look at each other. We're like, we don't really want to wait, dude. It's been like almost 4 hours since we've had this acid. We want to take it now. So we thought about it, and we were like, he's going to be here in 10-15 minutes. Let's go ahead and take it. And hopefully we won't start tripping until we get to this place that we're going out in the woods and tripping. And that was the biggest mistake I had made. You always want to wait until you're at the place, especially if you're going out in the woods. You need to make sure that you take it when you get there, not before you get there, because shit will go down and you will have a terrible trip. I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but it happened to me. It happened to everybody that night, and it was terrible. So we decided to take our acid, and these 10 to 15 minutes pass by, and dude's still not here. So I give him another call, and he says he's pulling up outside. I'm like, fuck yes, dude, I'm so ready to go trip. And we're sitting in the room. He walks in the room. We smoke a blunt or whatever. And I don't really like mixing weed and all these other different types of drugs together. I like doing them on like one-on-one, you know. I don't like mixing things. If I like the experience of one, like say acid, then I want to do acid alone. I don't like mixing. So they're smoking. I'm just like, okay, y'all can do whatever y'all want. And then we start to feel it while we're sitting in my room. So me and my friend look over at each other, and we know what's about to go down. So we turn around and tell everybody, we're like, hey, if we don't leave now, we're gonna be tripping balls before we get there. Like, I would just, please, can we leave? And we end up sitting there for another 20 minutes. So I'm already like getting this come up on acid, and I already knew it was gonna be a terrible night. So we sit there and we wait, and then we finally get to leave. And we're on the way, and we went down a main road, and then we took a back road going towards the woods where we were going to trip. And we went down this one back road. This was the first trippy thing that I had saw, and how I knew the night that what I saw was, it told me this is going to be a terrible trip. It looked like the back road that we were going down was the same turn over and over again for about 45 minutes. I swore every time we would go around this one curb, it would be the same curb, and we were repeating it. And I got stuck in that for about 15 minutes. And then I finally get out of the car, and me and my friend, we want to go ahead and go down to where our little campsite is out in the woods, because we're about to start tripping hard, and if we don't get down there now, we're gonna get lost. So we tell my other two friends, me and my friend are gonna walk down there so we don't like get lost. You guys are good up here? And they said, yeah, it's all good, we'll be down there in a minute. So we start walking down the path and everything, and the acid hits us really bad. We got stuck in a loop of walking in circles trying to find out where to go. And I swear we stood there doing that for about 20 minutes. And then they finally come up and save us out of this infinite loop of doing the same thing over and over again. We couldn't stop doing the same thing until our other friends that said they were going to be down there soon walked up to us, and they finally got us out of this loop. So we start walking down the trail a little bit more. And here's where shit gets a little bit more fucked. We're going down this one hill, like you have to slide down this one hill to get down to this place that we call the Hood. And I saw one spider, and that's whenever my trip went shit. Spiders, I have real bad arachnophobia, so seeing one spider just instantly threw me into a bad mood, and that's really bad on acid. Always try to stay in a positive mindset, but I saw the one spider, and then it duplicated and duplicated. Now they were everywhere, all over me, all over the trees, all over the ground, just little brown and black spiders, and they were moving, crawling up on me, and I lost my shit, dude. So then I finally shake my head a little bit, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, yeah. So we cross. There was this little like creek, and we had laid like a metal ladder across it. I know it doesn't sound safe, but it was the Hood, you know. It was just out in the woods where we would go out there and trip. It was a fun place. I love it. I would love to go again, but the weather is kind of iffy, you know. So I struggle getting across this metal bridge just a little bit, because, you know, I'm kind of like tripping balls at this point already, and we had just like began the trip. This was about an hour into the trip already, and we make it across this metal bridge, and I stand there and wait for everybody else to cross, because I'm kind of spooked of the dark, and all I have is like a tiki torch. We literally had 2 tiki torches and like 3 flashlights. I decided to hold on to the tiki torch that has actual fire. And we make it across this metal bridge, and my friend looks me straight in the face, and I will always remember this, because this is what threw my night into just shit. He looks at me straight in the eyes, hands me a flashlight, and says, "Go have fun." Why would you do that to me? So I grab the flashlight, hand him the tiki torch, I turn around, and I swear, I ran straight up an incline, like a 90-degree incline, this giant hill. I had flip-flops on. Keep in mind, it was like 40 degrees outside. I'm wearing flip-flops, shorts, and a t-shirt. I run straight up this hill, lose my flip-flops. I am so cold, but I just keep running, and then I eventually drop the flashlight and I lose it. So now I can't see anything. I'm only using my phone light now. Not even the phone flashlight. Like, that's how fucked up I was. I didn't even use the phone flashlight, just the screen. And I run, and this is whenever it really started to get bad. I started hearing voices, and then my vision went black, and I saw these 3 little circles, and inside of the circles it was white, but it also had my face in it, and there was 3 voices, and each of them were me. And this is where like shit really gets bad. Like, these 3 people were like going after me, basically, like calling me all the worst types of things, showing me the worst memories I had ever had in my life. And then where it really got fucked up was where it was showing me all of my friends and family in my mind getting killed over and over and over. It felt like this went on for 7-8 hours, and it really was only like 5 minutes, but it felt like so long to sit there and watch your best friends, all your family get killed over and over again in different ways in your mind. So I tried to escape it by climbing over a fence because the voices told me the only way to escape this hell is to kill yourself. So for some reason my mind instantly thought maybe killing myself means climbing over this barbed wire fence with nothing but a phone screen as light. So I try this and I cut my legs up so bad doing this. I didn't make it over the fence. So I turned around and I dropped my phone and I just booked it. And I ran. I swear I've never seen a briar bush this big. It's like, not a bush, but it's like a hill, but the entire hill is covered in briars. It was weird. And I run straight into it. My legs are bleeding like profusely. It was so much blood. And I just give up. I'm sitting there screaming pain. I remember, like, earlier on in the night before I ran into the briar bush, I remember screaming pain at trees and screaming at trees, telling them to listen to my life story. Like, I didn't give a fuck, or I knew they couldn't hear me, but I still wanted to tell them my life story. So I ended up running into this briar bush, and I, like, couldn't escape. My legs were so entangled in these briars that I couldn't get out. I was bleeding so bad from my feet up to my waist. I was bleeding. And at that point, there was just so much pain and how fucked my mind was. I'd given up on life. I laid down in the briar bush and was just like screaming. But I was still having these talks with these voices in my head. It was so weird and so bad at the same time. It was so scary. And I was screaming pain, and that's the only way that my friends found me, because remember, I just booked it straight up a hill and left my group of friends. So I'm laying there screaming pain, and they finally found me, and one of my friends told me, because I don't really remember, like, anything that was happening. My friend told me I was just mumbling in a different kind of language, and some words, like, I'd come out of nowhere with, like, one coherent word, and then I'd just go back to gibberish. But yeah, this was definitely my worst trip, and one of the main reasons every trip that I've had since then, I've tripped 5 times since then, and every trip has been terrible since that trip. I used to have such good trips where I could vibe, have a lot of fun, laugh, but after that trip where I went screaming pain in the woods, I don't think I can ever do acid again. Well, I guess that's going to be it for this story. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It would really help me out a lot. And also follow me on my new Instagram that I started for this YouTube account. I'll be posting updates and clips from the new videos before they're posted. If you're interested in that, please go drop me a follow. It is on screen. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Sayonara.